Hey y'all, my name's Angelica Rubio, State Representative for District 35, representing the City of Las Cruces, and this is it's an announcement. I've been sitting with a lot of heavy stuff for a while now, not just about the elections and all the things that are happening in our world right now, but about life and what it costs to keep showing up, especially when so many of us are just so tired. For those of you who don't know, I serve in the legislature and have been serving in the legislature for almost 10 years. Next year will be my 10th year. And in those 10 years, I have heard a lot of stories. I have witnessed a lot of people struggling and people facing a lot of insurmountable issues that I have honestly felt like I have seen directly how systems have failed people quietly and constantly. And I'm going to be honest with you all that I really thought that this was going to be my last term. Not because I stopped caring, but because caring deeply it's not free. For many of us, it costs us sleep. It costs us a lot of energy. And it costs a lot of relationships, especially our families and our close friendships, and a lot of joy. Most of the time, it costs parts of ourselves that we didn't even realize we were giving up until much later. And lately, I have found myself asking myself quietly, over coffee, over my bike rides, over even in the shower, how long is a person supposed to carry things like this? Because y'all, it's one thing to fight, but it's another thing to just keep standing there while things get heavier and heavier. And I'll be real with you that this past year has been especially heavy for me, heavier than I expected. Not just politically, because that's obviously been a shit show, but personally for sure. I've also watched a lot of my own people, my own community struggle. I've watched trust break within my own political relationships, for example. The institutions that we thought would be here for us, they have failed us publicly. And the most harshest thing, I think, is how much we have normalized cruelty in our communities and across the state and across the country. And I have felt that old familiar loneliness that comes when you realize that no one is really coming to save us, at least not in the way that we've been promised. And I thought that all was going to keep me motivated to end my my life in public service. But I think the thing that I have been surprised with the most over the course of the last couple months is that I actually don't want out. I want rest sometimes, yes. I want life to be softer sometimes. I want to be able to disappear sometimes, but I don't want out. Y'all, serving in the legislature for me is not something that's abstract. I'm not doing this for the textbook sense of public service or because it's an ideology or a performance or a brand. I do this because I deeply love my people. I love my home. I love my body. I love my community. The people that push me to do this work are the places that raised me. It's this place that continues to raise me. It's the same families that I've grown up with and the families that I continue to grow up with in this community. That's the streets and the names and the faces over the course of the last 10 years that I've gotten to know. And so walking away right now wouldn't feel like freedom for me. It would feel like abandonment. And it's not because I owe anyone perfection. It's because I feel like I still belong here. And I think that's the part that matters the most, is the belonging. People don't talk about it enough when it comes to politics or when they talk about it in these public spaces. We'll talk about power, we'll talk about influence, we'll talk about strategy, but nobody ever talks about belonging, nobody ever talks about care, and nobody ever talks about grief. But that's what's underneath all of this. Grief for what we were promised, grief for what we haven't materialized, and grief for the people that we have lost. But more importantly, grief for the ways that the world feels meaner than it has to be. I'm not staying on because I feel like because I think that government is some holy thing, because it's not. I'm staying because I know what happens when the loudest people are the ones who don't feel anything. Y'all, I want to stay because someone needs to remember that this place is made up of people and not policies. I want to stay because someone needs to interrupt the lie that cruelty is normal. I want to stay because someone needs to say the thing that nobody ever wants to say, which is this doesn't feel right, especially when everyone else has already moved on. And there's another thing that I want to say with you all, to you all honestly, and that is that this legislative work and this particular seat, District 35, it's still very much out of reach for a lot of people who should be here. And it's not because they don't care enough. It's not because they're not smart enough or that they wouldn't be good at it. It's because they can't afford to do this job unpaid. Y'all have kids, y'all have rent to pay, y'all have elders to care for, y'all have jobs that you can't leave for a long period of time, and you likely don't have bodies that are ready to carry this much work. And so if I walked away right now, the odds aren't that someone just like us steps in. The odds are that the seat goes corporate, that it goes to someone who will get really comfortable with the status quo, who's going to be super cautious, and who is going to be conservative in a very soft voice. And I just honestly feel a lot of obligation to not hand that over quietly. So part of the decision to stay on and to keep doing this work is that I'm holding the door open. I'm holding the door open until someone can afford to walk through it, until it is accessible for more people than just the few. And I'm holding the door open so that it doesn't require financial sacrifice just to participate in the state legislature. And honestly, y'all, I'm staying because I still love y'all. Not in a cheesy way or in a campaign way or any of that. It's in a real way. Like, I truly love y'all. I think showing up matters. I think presence matters. I think it's a form of resistance. And I think abandoning each of us right now, abandoning us right now is not an option. I know that this moment that we're in is frightening. I know that some days it feels like we're watching things unravel in real time, and secretly we're all wondering if it's even worth the effort. Believe me, I wonder that all the time. But I just know that the answer isn't to disappear. I feel like the answer to fear is closeness, and the answer is choosing each other again and again imperfectly. So y'all, I'm choosing to stay. I'm choosing to show up. I'm choosing to keep telling the truth even when it makes people uncomfortable. And I'm choosing to keep loving a place that doesn't always love me back. I wanted you all to hear directly from me that I'm running for re-election, not as a politician, not as a title, just as a person. I'm here, I'm still here, and I'm not done caring for us. And so, if you still believe in the vision that we brought forth almost a decade ago to be unapologetic and to fight for those who have been silenced by these systems, then let's keep building this together, because we absolutely have to. Ways that you can support me in my re-election is if you live in my district, please sign my petition to get on the ballot. If you're not in my district but would like to make a contribution to my campaign, even if it's just a couple of dollars, y'all, it all does wonders. Links to both the petition and to my donation page is in my bio. Thank you all for everything. Stay safe, take care of each other. Peace out.